That's permanently settled here.
I hope so.
It's so nice.
I hope so very much.
Do you have any specific query?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Maharaj, for asking.
এটা বন্ধ করে দাও তো।
Yes.
ঠান্ডা করছে।
Maharaj, I'm not sure, but I think I might have a misconception. And I'd like to, I'm so grateful if you could clear if it is a misconception. What I'm somewhat confused about is friendship amongst Vaishnavas. Some Vaishnavas are of the opinion that there are no friends in this world. And of course Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that he is the only friend. This I have conviction in. At the same time, I know that I cannot approach Radha Krishna or Nikaya directly. So I feel personally dependent on the mercy of the Vaishnavas, specifically the friendship of the Vaishnavas. So my doubt is, am I incorrect in thinking that the friendship of the Vaishnava is essential to attaining any service in the spiritual world?
It's true. Friendship with the pure Vaishnavas, genuine Vaishnavas, are essential to be more cultivated, growing up with the devotional service to the Lord in the higher spiritual world. Very true. But sometimes in this Kali Yuga, in this era, specifically this present time, we only find a handful of genuine Vaishnavas. They are not many in number, high-class genuine Vaishnavas. So therefore, all the sincere devotees like yourself need to be selective. They need to be more reserved and selective about associating with the genuine Vaishnavas, comparatively pure Vaishnavas, instead of general Vaishnavas going on in the name of Vaishnavas, but most of them they are more or less in the Kanishtarika, or maybe just going up to touch the primary level of the madhyama adhikari, not beyond that. So better to be associating and having friendship with little high class, at least madhyama adhikari, and of course up to uttama adhikari, whenever it's available, Vaishnavas. I repeat, it's always a better idea, better to best idea to be associating with and making friendships with the high class genuine Vaishnavas, at least with the madhyama adhikari. Then you will be more safe and secure, properly guided, and on those, on the level of that class of Vaishnava, even if there are some seemingly sectarian attitude, seemingly, because of institutional and their own individual guru parampara, institutional reason, but they always become broad-hearted and more with harmonizing ability. So their apparent seeming sectarianism cannot affect, influence their broadness, broad accommodating spirit, broadly accommodating spirit with broad nature of friendship, going beyond, rising beyond the seeming sectarian ways, institutional ways. They can do it. But they should have that ability. Below that level will always be finding the general Vaishnavas affected by sectarian institutional mentality, sectarian mentality so much, with some judgment, and they also cannot become real friends to each other among themselves, always fighting with each other, criticizing each other, envying each other, at the same time living in the temple life, outwardly being seen like Vaishnava sadhus living in the temple, but they are not really trained up or truly cultivated, okay, to reach the level of real Vaishnavism, that real sadhu. Therefore, you are all sincere souls, good hearts, need to be very careful about choice, choosing with whom you can be, what kind, what class, what level of Vaishnavas you can be making friendship with. This is important. Therefore, it is also described in the Holy Scriptures, in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita also, Siddhanta boliya chitte nakaro alas jaha hoite lage Krishna sudhira manas. You have to understand the proper lights of the Siddhantic knowledge. You need to be understanding what is what should be done, what not to be done, what ought to be done, what ought not to be done. Okay. So with the lights of the knowledge of the proper Siddhanta, you have to be more selective in order to recognize with whom you can make real friendship, what kind of Vaishnava you can trust, you can be relying on, believe, you can have faith in, you can trust in, so that you are not cheated or misguided. And therefore, the real Vaishnavas are always seen with high principles rather than any institutional motivations, material motivations, calculations. They are men of principle. They value the high qualities in life. That's why we're sadhus. Institution is necessary, organization is necessary to facilitate that. The higher principles, devotional principles, facilitate devotional service. But that is the essence. And these institutional organizations are there to facilitate that, promote that, fulfill that purpose. But it's all necessary to promote the real spirit, divine spirit, because after all, spiritual life, spiritual organization. Not to promote the organizational matters, material things. But all utilized to be promoting the real divine spirit, pure devotional spirit of service. Mahaprabhu, divine couple. Panchatattva, divine couple. The real, genuine Vaishnavas live by that, higher principles, ideals. Their higher ideals and the realities of their life, practical life, become one. They remain united, harmoniously united together. They live by principle, they also live their life by principles. So, this is what it is. Therefore, we find through the Siddhanta of Srimad Bhagavatam, we find how you find the necessity of how the people, the persons need to be treated, persons of different levels need to be treated according to their levels. I remember that verse, Ishari tad adhineshu balisheshu dishatsu cha prema maitri kripa upeksha jah karoti samadhama. There are definitions of adhikari, madhyamadhikari, uttamadhikari. So this is the definition of madhyamadhikari.
Maitri.
Ishari tad adhineshu balisheshu dishatsu cha prema maitri kripa upeksha jah karoti samadhama. Madhyamadhikari devotee. Ishari, they always offer prema. They all the time, or they naturally always offer their pure loving devotion, prema, to Ishvara. In relation to Ishvara, they are always offering the pure loving devotion, devotional service, Ishvara. Tad adhineshu. Tad adhineshu means those who are subordinate to the Ishvara, means submissive devotees. In other words, in high class meaning, surrendered devotees, dedicated devotees to the Ishvara. To them, in relation to them, maitri, real friendship. And that friendship means it's not any type of cheap class, mundane, worldly friendship. Okay, that only based on some fleeting likings or dislikings or some sort of vested interest. No. That friendship is defined to be much higher than that. Because the nature of that friendship contains respect and loving care. Trust, respect for each other, mutual respect and loving care for each other in relation to the Supreme God, in relation to the Supreme Ishvara. That is the conception of that kind of friendship, beyond any kind of relative limited idea or conception of worldly friendship. Ishvarata adhineshu. So that quality of friendship needs to be cultivated between the devotees of Ishvara and the one who is aspirant for that, aspiring to have friendship with the devotees of Ishvara, Vaishnavas there. So they are the real Vaishnavas, genuine Vaishnavas one needs to make friendship with. Pure friendship which is full of respect, trust and loving care. With commitment, loving commitment. So that you can depend, rely on, and you can be so much trusting with all feelings of appreciation and love, that kind of friends. Tadadhineshu. Balisheshu, or Balisha means ignorant people. Prema maitri kripa, for the ignorant people, I mean innocently ignorant, not kind of motivatedly ignorant or acting to be ignorant, but innocently ignorant people, the madhyamadhikari devotees, talking about the madhyamadhikari devotees, they show mercy, compassion. And now back to the point. Not only for the other persons, other common devotees, but also madhyamadhikari, even medium level and high level of madhyamadhikari, Vaishnava also want to make friendship with those subordinates, with those submissive dedicated devotees, with that kind of mutual, that kind of feelings on his side, that kind of feelings of love and trust, respectful love and trust and loving care for them, about them, and such quality of madhyama devotee out of their loving compassion, loving nature, go forward to make true friendship with other devotees who are really submissive and devoted to the Lord Ishvara. With that kind of feelings, that kind of mood, with respect, love and trust, with respect, trust and loving care, in that friendship, they offer that kind of friendship, and thereby they continue to be nurturing, dearly, lovingly, caring, nurturing, cultivating those devotees further to go higher, to grow higher. That way. So it is so beneficial for those devotees, for those dedicated devotees who receive such quality of friendship with that madhyamadikari devotees. They become pleased with each other through their friendly association. Both become mutually pleased and satisfied and happy, very happy with their mutual friendly relations, both sides. Okay. So that quality of friendship has been defined, has been elated, has been described. So Ishvare tadodhineshu balisheshu, then balisha. For the innocently ignorant people who are not vindictive, who do not have any ulterior motive or any kind of negative, vindictive, envious, offensive attitude towards God. But just, they don't know, innocently ignorant people. For them, the madhyamadikari devotees have more compassion. Caring, but compassion. Not friendship. They are not yet able, they are not yet qualified to make friendship with. That's only reserved for submissive devotees of the Lord. But for the Balisha, innocently ignorant people, they have feelings of compassion and they take care of their compassionate spirit of compassion. But Dishat Sucha, those who are offensive, blasphemous, offensive, that of sinful, vindictive, sinful nature in relation to God. But then they do upeksha. Although it is not directly spoken but is implied, either they try to correct them, either the Vaishnava plus madhyamadikari Vaishnava, either try to correct them, rectify them in a proper way, appropriate manner, or if they find it difficult, so much wastage of their time, energy, to do them, they are so, those jivas are so covered with sinful conditionings, anti-God, anti-devotional, atheistic conditionings, then they do upeksha. Simply ignore them, stay very indifferent, very aloof from them, indifferent. Try to completely ignore them. Ignore them, leave. They live their life far, far away from you. So both ways are there. If they feel inspired with the sinner-saving ideal, and they feel, the madhyama feel they are capable of doing so, and they try to correct them, rectify them. Otherwise, upekha. Completely avoid them, totally live away from them. So this is the Siddhanta of Srimad Bhagavatam. So through this Siddhanta we know how to make friendship, with what quality of friendship and with whom. What quality of friendship and with whom that is applicable, that kind of friendship. Genuine type of spiritual friendship, higher spiritual friendship, divine friendship, cannot be just happening in a cheap class, ordinary way. You have to have that quality of friendship with the qualified devotees, Vaishnavas. Then it is very fine. It becomes very beneficial. Gain some. And so, sometimes we also find in our society, or in all types of religious societies, we find the general type of Vaishnavas, whether living inside mission or outside mission, cannot even have proper friendship among themselves. What to make, what to say, what to speak of. Having friendship or establishing the example of the higher friendship before others, where they themselves cannot do it. They themselves cannot have it among themselves. And that is the reality. So we have to be very careful about that. Often we find, to our surprise, and not real surprise, in the mundane plane, in the Kali Yuga, what do we see? Sometimes in temple living general devotees, or even living outside, they can make some kind of nice friendship, happy friendship with ordinary mundane people, but they cannot go very well with their colleagues in the temple. I mean, not always, but often. They cannot have nice friendship, happy friendship with their colleagues, with their fellow temple living devotees outside. Okay. Their own God brothers, God sisters, but they are tending to have nice relations with other people outside who are not even devotees, who are materially successful people, not even devotees, but they are having nice relations with them, they have no problem. But they have got some problems with their own God brother, God sister, cannot have peaceful coexistence because of enviousness, inferiority, complexity, superiority or inferiority complexities. All those come on the way non-spiritual symptoms, non-devotional symptoms. But we often see that reality among the even temple living devotees or in our society. So we have to be really careful and selective. And before putting your full trust, loving trust and respect, you have to be waiting and see and understand, and then go forward to put your love and trust and everything in the person. Lord Krishna always says, you can be simple-hearted, but be intelligent-hearted. He never says you'll be simple, to be so innocent and naive, okay, to be misguided or cheated by others easily. He doesn't say that. He says, you'll be plain and simple. My devotees become very plain. My devotees live a plain, simple life, but full of intelligence, lights of knowledge of Siddhanta. They live for me. Whether they live plain or gorgeous lifestyle, both they live for me. For my cause, in my interest. They live very simple way, they become very simple. Also they become as knowledgeable, both for my cause. They act as very simple sincerity, and they also act with wise devotee, high-class, knowledgeable devotee, both for me. Do you have any particular level of query in relation to this having friendship with devotees? Any other particular dimension?
Is it, I'm in Maya, of course I am, but am I in Maya from so desperately wanting to be a part of something harmonious with devotees? Is that my misconception or false? Is it somehow sense gratification? I suppose that's my next question.
Sometimes it's also the holy duty, it's also the mutual holy duty of both the devotees in relationship, in deep friendly relationship, or for many years, a long time, quite some time, is that to understand each other with open mind and heart. Often a lot of situational misunderstandings, relative misunderstandings due to situational reasons, time, place, situations, break the friendship. They cause breaking the friendship, disturbing the friendship. So therefore both sides of the devotees in friendly relations should be very careful of understanding each other properly from different angles, not just from one's own angle, one's own favorable angles only, but also, in other words, not only from his or her own position understand, but also from other partner's position, from his or her, the partner's position, how, if I would be in his or her position, how I would be feeling in relation to myself. So from both sides, the intelligent people, intelligent persons, try to understand each other in the friendly relation and sort out things, make amicable settlements, devoting some time, energy to find out some ways of amicable settlements with proper understandings, rising beyond the confusions or misunderstandings each other. So it is also required. So that can also be helpful in many situations. Often it is found that both sides are sincere. They are good-hearted, both sides are good-hearted, sincere, but something not working out because of certain misunderstandings caused by the time, place, situations. Not only time, place, situations of the outside environment, but also time, place, situation as working in our constitution, in our lifestyle, how it is affecting us and how it is affecting us to relate to other person. The same things also apply to other partner of friends. How it is also affecting him or her to relate to me and disturbing the genuine friendly relations. So many things can be factors. Okay, so all factors need to be addressed as much as possible to have real amicable loving settlement in the relationships. So that is also the duty. Sometimes people become lazy in understanding each other, trying to figure out. They just go by emotional waves and sentiments and finish. Okay, nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea. Not a good idea.
Can you elaborate on why that is not a good idea?
They should give some try with some mutual care. I mean, mutual care and attention. It cannot be one-sided.
If it's one-sided, then what?
Then one should do one's holy duty, caring duty, to give a try for that, to rectify and settle things, harmonize things in a positive, amicable temperament, caring temperament. If it doesn't happen, forget about it. Just forget. And you remain very clear to your own conscience that I have tried with the best of my sincerity. I have tried. So, but it is other partners' karma, individual. Everyone has individual fate and karma. I cannot do anything more than that.
Yeah.
I cannot do anything to help him more, but I try with sincerity. And you remain very clear to your conscience and just give up, leave away, disassociate. Just come away from that association, conflicting association, and live. Find out a more peaceful, happy life. Life is very valuable. So life is not meant to be wasted under the distress and so much disturbance and distressing of breaking up with the friendship, breaking up with the friends, and let myself be more and more afflicted by that and living under unhappiness and sadness continually. No, life is very valuable. Life is not meant to be misused in that way. One should give a try with the best of one's own sincerity, best of all good wishes to, in relation to another friend, partner friend, and try to help him, okay, do good to him, help him, make amicable settlement, everything. If it doesn't work out, forgive and forget about. Forget and forgive about. Live begin to live your happy, prosperous, happy, positive life. That is the principle. Without wasting any more time, energy, after all that negative energy, distressing energies. No. Say goodbye to that. Find out new ways. There are very positive and peaceful ways to find out those ways. The world of the positive energy, filled with positive energy. Find out all the positive ways with peace and happiness, higher spiritual happiness and conviction, prospect, and be living that life with all positive, happy energy of Radha Krishna consciousness, instead of allowing you to become victim to negative energies, negative things of your life. That is what is Lord Krishna's, Mahaprabhu's direction. Their direction, guidance. That way. We are always positivist. Live by truth, always the follower of the truth, follower of the positive life of the truth, higher divine happiness, higher divine energy and conviction and divine interest of life in relation to the divine couple. We do not. The pure devotees of Krishna never live their life by sadness, negative association, energy,
despair.
No. Because samshaya atma vinashati. At some point there should be no space for doubting, confusion. Have your mind and heart, your life should be filled with positive assurance of positive happiness and satisfaction, conviction, positive feelings of your progress, life divine, life of loving devotion. Our life is meant for that.
This question is probably I'm a mundane person anyway, but you have so much experience with international devotees.
Sorry, say again?
You have so much experience with
Some experience.
So much experience.
Oh, so much experiences.
With international devotees. Is it possible for a Western-born person and Bengali-born devotees to actually meet mutually? In your experience, what do you think?
See, there are a lot of cultural differences. Cultural differences in upbringings between two classes, Eastern classes, Western classes. Yet, through the cultivation of higher understandings between two partners, between two friends, that gap can be minimized and reduced to a great extent, and both of them can find a mutual ground of harmonious understanding, harmonious relations, understandings of each other, and they can go on a fine way. But it depends on the This is what I am talking about, the common ground of the truth. But sometimes often it depends on the individual quality and individual nature, constitutional nature of the persons. The Eastern upbringing, the Western upbringing. So, if they cannot, both of them cannot rise up, rise beyond their, beyond the limits, beyond their own cultural limits of understanding and habits and thought process, unless they find some common ground of close, harmonious understanding, it can be difficult. It may not be working out well with either with both of them or either with one side. Other side is more welcoming, but another side, one side is more welcoming and more generous and open-hearted, but other side, it's not working with the other side because of the cultural limitations in the thought process and habitual way of thinking, seeing the things. Okay. Same person seeing a thing in a different way from the other partner, seeing the same thing another way. So it remains, it can be. So education, rights of knowledge, educations, more harmonious understandings with higher lights of the higher knowledge is required to do away with such gap.
As you so wonderfully said, that commitment to truth. It's individual, but it has to be mutual. Must be.
Yeah, mutual relationship, because it is a relationship between two or three or so.
Maharaj, would you speak about the principle of adan pradan? I'd like to understand that better.
Giving and taking, simple way.
Without exploitation.
Exchanging without exploitation. Real adano pradano is beyond any kind of, completely beyond and devoid of any type of exploiting spirits. When we say adan pradan in the spiritual term, in the spiritual context, higher spiritual context, we must be free from all exploiting temperament, completely devoid of exploiting temperament. It means it's a caring exchange, a loving exchange of giving and taking. That is adan pradan. It's benefiting each other through mutual giving and taking.
Reciprocity.
Sharing with each other.
And then what if apanjan? Will you please speak about that topic? Apanjan. If one is apan.
Yes. Apanjan. Apanjan means dearly related ones. Dearly related ones. Intimately related ones. Called apanjan. It's found in the dearly related family members, among the dearly related family members.
So I was reading a Czech Bhagavad yesterday when Mahaprabhu returned from Gaya, and Srimad Pandit, he quoted a Sanskrit slok with the essence being that another person has joined our family.
Apan means own, Jan means person. My own person, Amar Apanjan. His own person, her own person. That's a literal meaning, but also it clearly explains. Own person means that the term own is so meaningful. It's got so much meanings inside.
Yes.
own person.
As good as oneself, can we say that to be true?
Own person, and that owning, concept of that owning is not selfishly oriented, cannot be selfish. I own you means not that I am selfishly owning you. I own you with loving care. So I also care for you lovingly. That's why I own you. Not forcibly owning you as an exploiting boss, some exploiting master or authority. No. I'm owning you with full loving care for you, loving care about you. So giving is there. And through giving, then taking, owning. Then you are taking him or her, means owning him or her in relationship through loving reciprocation. That kind of owning is promoted. That quality of owning is established here. So it's a mutually or lovingly, mutually caring relationship between each other, or mutually, intimately, lovingly caring relationship between each other. That is upon. They are owning each other. And we find the highest manifestation. We find the highest manifestation of that. Best and highest ambrosial manifestation of that owning quality in relation to this very I'm fully belonging to you, to my exclusive wholehearted devotion unto you. I am fully belonging to you, Amito Toma, then Tumito Ama. You are also fully belonging to me. You also become belonging to me in that mutual love relationship. I do not have anything else. I do not have anything else, any other interest in my life because of Aparadharma. Yes. It's the highest conception, ambrosial, best concepts of owning the highest divine art. সুদাম সাহেবকে বলেছো আসছে টাইম হয়ে গেল আগে আগেই আসো You'll be having prasad, lunch prasad, then you will go. Not before.
Not before, no. I would love to stay a few days whilst I'm here this time as well.
Want to be staying here?
I love being here.
Yes.
I love being here.
Welcome. Just let me know ahead of time.
Maybe around the 27th, around that time.
27th of January?
December.
Oh, 27th December. Right. Because we will be leaving after 9th of January. Right.
Will you be here?
27th. I will be here.
I've seen.
After 27th, on 27th December or after?
If there's any, because I've been following, of course now I'm following you on Facebook, so I'm seeing that so many devotees have come and you've been so busy with association, and every time I see a video, whilst I was in England, I thought, I wish I could be in that assembly. So if there's any opportunity for that association, I would be so very happy.
Yes. During the recent time, nice delegations of devotees came over.
Yes.
We had very nice Ishtagoshti.
not Padma. Is it? What's Maharaj's name?
Padmanabh Maharaj.
Padmanabh Maharaj.
He came with
Yes, yes.
devotees.
I appreciate his preaching very
Also,
much.
also time to time I'm having some public spiritual programs.
In Bengali as well.
In Bengali.
I've never heard you give pravachan in Bengali. For me, that would be a great treat.
On Facebook they are posting some of the Bengali
But
programs.
live.
So, the upcoming 4th of January 4th is one public spiritual program, Dharma Shura. You are welcome.
Thank you.
We'll be going by car from here. But some other devotees coming, maybe you have to squeeze a little bit in car. At least you're going by car and coming back the same day, night time. Same night. City checking.
Rather than a hopeful
Mm-hmm.
or sentimental misconception.
Yes.
I think that's where my intelligence needs some refinement.
It can be. I'm talking on principle. So yes, anyone who has got that kind of nature, okay, easily becomes emotional, loving-hearted, lovingly caring, should be careful with some conscious intelligence. Not that they are really less intelligent devotees, but they are not always conscious because of their loving nature, open nature. They easily have faith and want to trust. It's a sadhu nature. But they need to be more consciously intelligent for making discriminations.
Yes, this is where I have difficulty. I'm in hearing from you and in articulating it myself, I can understand that's exactly where I'm lacking.
You can be working on that.
Yes, but I'm pleased to know that that's where I need to work on.
Work on that, and you can easily
Foggy sometimes.
easily develop that needed quality to deal with things as it requires, as appropriate. It happens with all of us, more or less, especially the people, the good-hearted people, because they're tending to have faith and trust in others out of their open, loving care instead of doubting others. It's one of the saintly good qualities. They are naturally tending, their heart, their feelings are naturally tending towards trusting and caring, having faith in others, because they themselves are in that mode of goodness. So according to their own nature, according to their own ways, own nature, they want to relate to others, want to see others, which they are not always. So that's why it needs to be worked out with conscious intelligence.
How to cultivate that conscious intelligence?
Just be careful. Just before going for something or dearly relating to someone or something, just talk to yourself. Hold a moment. Let me wait and see a little bit. Check it out. Not with really doubting temperament, but just for having appropriate caution, needed caution. And so let me go through, verify a little bit with my open heart and mind, but verify, and then I will put my trust and put my faith and trust in my loving care. It is required. And you can do it for safety reason. And once you are confirmed about that you are really associating with some high-class Vaishnava, then you do not need to keep your eyes open. You can have blind faith, because you can truly trust and completely trust with your faith. But that's only in relation to very high-class Vaishnava, where you can fully trust with your faith. But after receiving confirmation through the checking out for a while, then you can reach that level, not just the initial level, because you do not know whether he or she is high-class Vaishnava or not. You do not know how much is his external show, how much is reality. So it takes some time to wait and see. I don't mean for a long time waiting and see, at least for a while.
Fools rush in where angels fear to tread.
Guru Maharaj used it
Yes, I know.
in a very positive way. To caution others, those fools who rushing by angels fear to tread, he wanted to caution them, Guru Maharaj. Positive cautioning. Conscious intelligence is required. That's what Mahaprabhu says in other words, Siddhanta Boliya Chitte Nakara Alas. One can never be lazy about understanding the proper Siddhanta, means what is what in reality, properly. Ultimately, that also helps the person, helps one so much to have firm knowledge and faithful devotion unto Krishna, when it is all based on the proper knowledge and concept of the Siddhanta, feelings of the Siddhanta. It also helps one's pure devotional life, powerful devotional life, which is backed by the potency of Siddhanta, not only backed by emotional feelings, but also potency of the wisdom of the Siddhanta. Both are there. But on the highest level, it's all self-effulgent, loving emotion. Everything is going on by self-effulgent, self-potent love power, loving devotional power. Knowledge may not be required there on the highest level, because there is no cheating. On that level there is no question of any cheating or deception or exploiting. One doesn't really require to be so alert and carefully judging and being selective. You can just have total faith in that plane. But that's applicable on the highest plane.
I'm hankering for that.
We're all craving, hankering for that.
And not because this conception that no one is my friend but the Lord. For me, that smacks of Kanishta adhikari. To me, it sounds ungrateful. I suppose that's why I have difficulty with that conception.
Naturally, true. Yes. The conception, our Krishna conception of Godhead, our conception of the Supreme Lord, or in other words, the absolute conception of the Supreme Lord, absolute Krishna conception of Godhead, is never only He. It's a Lord in the center, surrounded by, accompanied by, completely surrounded by beloved associates and devotees.
Friends.
Friends.
And lovers.
Devotees means also another friends, loving friends, loving, beloved friends. So Krishna is in the center, surrounded by all beloved friends, lovers. So, beloved friends who are also so loving to Him. So, we have to follow that. It cannot be only Supreme Lord is my friend and we cannot have friends other than Supreme Lord. It cannot be that. That's the partial concept of the Supreme Lord.
Incomplete.
Incomplete.
Yes.
Our conception, the Supreme Lord Krishna, Supreme Absolute Good, our conception of the Supreme Absolute Beautiful Divine Personality is central, is in the center, surrounded by all beloved lovers, beloved loving friends. At the same time, He is also covering all the circumference. In the center, at the same time, covering all circumference. On the top, the below, He is everywhere. Accommodating all through Achintya Bheda Bheda principle. That is the real Krishna conception of Godhead. Full-fledged Krishna conception of Godhead. Otherwise it will be
that conception
incomplete.
I have full faith in.
Yes. Yes. So in general, you can be believing, you can be trusting some general devotees before with conscious intelligence, but keeping your eyes open, not closing your eyes. That's the principle. Only on the highest level you can close your eyes and have full faith. There you may not need to keep your eyes open for justifying or judging things, verifying things, and have full faith. That's the level of Vrindavana. Goloka Vrindavana. The level, highest level of full-fledged Atmanivedanam. You know, full-fledged Atmanivedanam means full trust, full faith, full loving devotion. And in reciprocation, they also receive accordingly. Full-fledged love relationship with Krishna, with Radharani, with their beloved associates. Full-fledged loving relationship, loving devotional relationship with Gaura Nityananda Gadadhara Panchatattva. Divine couple. That is our final goal, final nectarine goal.
Is it then I'm sorry, Maharaj. Very quick. So then is that a symptom of Tattva-Brahm? Then to expect that it will be manifest here? Should I remain completely hopeless that I'll taste that here?
Because after all we are living on the mundane plane of existence. So Tattva-Brahm will be coming from time to time in our lives, whether or not we want that. because of the mundane effect. So this is mundane plane, often full of illusions. Okay, by some special grace of the Lord, there are also certain planes full of knowledge, real knowledge and wisdom, higher spiritual knowledge and wisdom, but also the many dynamics, different dimensions of mundane planes full of illusions, all temporary concepts and misconceptions and illusions.
Partial conceptions.
Partial conception also kind of illusion, because it's incomplete knowledge. It's not the complete conception of the truth and understanding, but only partial. So it's also misleading about the holistic nature of the truth. But by developing through experience of the spiritual life, by developing through the higher spiritual experience or cultivation of higher spiritual life, at certain stages, devotees can discriminate between which are the illusory ways of concepts, tattva brahma, and what are the real ways of the concepts of the Siddhanta. They have that ability. They receive that ability through the cultivations of higher spiritual life with the best of sincerity, with the best of their sincerity, at the same time with receiving some revelations from higher divine plane. Both get unified together in their lives, and they can easily discriminate between, just as in the desert, the mature, experienced persons know to discriminate between the mirage and where if there is any water, real water, or it's just an illusion of water, it's just a mirage. Well, the experienced people can discriminate between that.
The rope and the snake.
Rope and a snake.
That's yes, that for me is most potent. The rope and the snake.
Rope and snake.
The mirage and the water.
Yes.
Same principle.
Now Arati begin. Attending Arati, you can also